All right, everybody, here we go with super exciting research methods. I will be honest, this is not the sexiest topic we're going to talk about all semester, but it's a really important one, and I'm hoping this first video of this four-part series will convince you that knowing how data should be collected helps us be better critical thinkers and consumers of information. So, here we go. Real quick, today's plan is pretty extensive, and there's going to be a number of times where I'm going to ask you to pause the video and watch a video that I've posted on Canvas or refer to a class handout. So just be cognizant of there'll be a few times that I ask you to pause the video. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to talk about why research methods matter. We're going to talk about the relationship between theory and research, making the connection between why we're talking about these two things back to back. We're going to explore different approaches to research, the scientific approach versus the interpretive approach, and then we're going to conclude with ethical concerns about research. Anytime you're dealing with people, there's going to be ethical things to consider. So that's our plan in this four-part series. So let's start with the first. Why care about how research methods matter? Well, we're going to watch just a short clip of a video from John Oliver, sort of tongue-in-cheek, but gives you a sense of why we should know how research methods matter. I should warn you, I think there's a bad word, so just something to notice here.
We love and respect so much, we only allow scientists to be portrayed by the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Nicolas Cage, and Al Pacino. That is how much we respect them and the complexity of the work they do. Science is constantly producing new studies, as you would know if you've ever watched TV.
A new study shows how sugar might fuel the growth of cancer.
A new study shows late-night snacking could damage the part of your brain that creates and stores memories.
A new study finds pizza is the most addictive food in America.
A new study suggests hugging your dog is bad for your dog.
A new study showing that drinking a glass of red wine is just as good as spending an hour at the gym.
What? That last one? No! That last one doesn't even sound like science. It's more like something your sassy aunt would wear on a t-shirt.
Okay, right, so you get the idea that knowing how data should be collected not only matters with silly things that are showing up in your social media feed, but really, how are we going to tell if this is good information to base really important life decisions on, right? Things like what kind of career to go into, what school to send your kid to, if you should follow the advice of your doctor, right? So research methods matter in terms of critical consumption. Now, a lot of what we're going to talk about, I'm going to introduce some fancy words, but really you've been a researcher your entire life. You gather information just like sociologists do, right? Where do you get information about people, about behavior, attitudes, society in general? Most of us get information from social media, right? The news, books, friends, if we belong to a church or a synagogue, right? Lots of places where you get information, the exact same places we as sociologists get information. So where do we get information, right? Just like you, we ask people, we observe what people are doing, we look at existing information, right? What's been written before, what was left behind. Videos, magazines, we read books, personal accounts, and data information can come in all sorts of forms. Written, verbal, visual, right? We compare what's going on in our society versus someone else's. We look at studies over time. So again, a lot of what we're going to talk about is going to sound new, but it's not. You've been collecting data pretty much the same way that we have. So what's the connection between theory, what we talked about in class on Tuesday, and research methods? Well, really you can't have one without the other, right? So let's start with research without theory. Research without theory is just a collection of facts, right? And anybody can go collect facts. We could do a survey in our class and ask, what percentage of people prefer Dutch Brothers over Starbucks? And making this up, but maybe we find out, 52% of students in Soc 1 prefer Dutch Brothers. Well, that's data, but the next burning question is, well, why? Why do most people prefer Dutch Brothers? And you need theory in order to understand that why. And the reverse is just as useless. Theory without research, not very helpful. We all, every day, come up with theories all by ourselves to try to make sense of the world, right? Why is our kid doing that? Why is our partner doing that? Why is our president doing that? Why is that country doing that? We're constantly coming up with little theories to help us make sense of this overwhelming amount of data that's coming our way. But most of these theories that we come up with, right, why is my kid acting that way, we usually don't have research to back it up, right? So theory, research, totally tangled up in one another. We really can't have one without the other. Okay, so pause now, and then we'll come back for video number 2, talking about the scientific research method.